When the girl just wait, they will let you down. The accident, they will mess it up. Just wait. The accident, they will let you down. Just wait. The accident, waiting to happen. It won't happen. I'm predicting they're gonna be irrelevant. I'm predicting the absolute embarrassment for the last decade and a half. They make me laugh. All the talent that they have is unbelievable, man. Big D, even you. This is what they do. So we show up on TV. Accident.
What's poppin', football fans and fantasy football fans all over the globe? It's your boy Melky, always doing things the Melky way. That's just me throwing the white flag with the stupid-ass Cowboys and their pathetic excuse of a franchise. I'm with the main man, Goobie. Speaking of accidents waiting to happen, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. I got milk.
I forgot the cookies.
I got milk. But no, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Well, I mean, I didn't do so great this past week, and you obviously did. So I'm doing things the Melky way, as I always say. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's not the right way. It's not the wrong way, but it's the wrong way done faster. So now you know. So
is it the wrong way doing it like smooth and silky like milk?
Absolutely. You get it.
But speaking of smooth and silky, you know what? I think my fantasy team is doing smooth and silky this week. You know what? I got a W, and I'm back in first, baby. Let's go. But you know what? I can't give credit to a lot of my team. You know what? There's some players out there that aren't doing so hot. Josh Allen, you were my Lord and Savior, but you're looking a little sus on the end there. You only got me 15 points. A.J. Brown got me 8 points. Adam Thielen got me 2 points. So those three right there are supposed to be like my top guys, other than my running backs, of course. But I won 121 to 81 this week. I'm rounding up and down. The people that performed for me were people I didn't think would perform for me.
Like who?
Robert Woods, 21 points, sitting in my flex spot. Travis Kelce, I know you always do well. He got me 16 points. Will Lutz, man, got me 14 points, a kicker.
What up, Will?
Who knew? And then Pittsburgh defense, got me 18 points. And Derrick Henry always putting on a show, 17 points. So, yeah, I did well. I'm looking at the other team. The only thing that I can see is someone sat somebody, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. I don't know why you would sit him, but we can get into that later if we really want to. If we don't have to, there's a whole controversy on that one. But you know what? I got the W. I'm sitting in first. I'm happy. How you looking over there, Melk? How was your week?
Not as fantastic as yours. And going back to Mr. Patty Mahomes, you don't ever sit that man. If he has a breath in his life, if he's breathing, man, you don't sit him.
Especially playing the Jets.
Yeah, who suck.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get into it too much, but we might get into it later. Who knows?
Boy. Yeah, going back to my team, they just failed epically. It's this hot and cold bullshit. Burrow, who I just picked up off the waiver wire, he showed up. This man can ball. Really gets hurt, so he doesn't do anything for me. Josh Allen isn't throwing to Diggs as much. I don't know what's going on in Buffalo, but it's tainting Stephon Diggs. Don't get me started on Zeke. Actually, I don't have your ass anymore, so good riddance. Clyde, sharing that backfield with Bell is going to hurt you. Kittle breaks his foot. My saving grace was my kicker, Carlson from Las Vegas. And, yeah, Mike Evans. That was it. Like, my fantasy team is turning into a nightmare. No longer
it's almost looking like the the guy behind you there.
Oscar?
Sitting in the yeah. Sitting in the trash.
But there is light at the end of the tunnel. As I mentioned, I made a move this morning, and I acquired Connor from Pittsburgh, black and yellow, and I acquired Herbert, the quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers. So I'm hoping things definitely turn around in my favor. Tight end Timmy, I'm coming for you, man. So,
what's your next week looking like?
You know what? It's gonna be a slobber knocker. I feel like Tim and I are evenly matched. I just mentioned that I did acquire some new assets, although I may not use Herbert this week because Big Ben is playing that pathetic excuse of a franchise, the Dallas Cowboys, with the worst defense in the league. So he's got Deshaun Watson. Watson's got a favorable matchup against Jacksonville. So, you know what? I think it's a coin toss there. Ridley may or may not play. He's got Cooks. I got Stephon Diggs. He's got Chark. I think I have him in the wide receiver category. Basically, his X factors are Kamara and Aaron Jones. Those are some big boys. They put up points. The ball runs around. So you know what? He's got me there. I got Connor, I got Clyde, and I got Gordon. You know, as my three-headed monster at running back. So we'll see. He's got DeAndre Swift, who we labeled as a boom last week. So you know what? It's gonna be a battle. I need the win. I need the dub. So I'm hoping with my new acquisitions, you know, I go on a roll. How are you looking next week, buddy?
I'm looking pretty good. I wanted to touch base. I know you were saying you're probably gonna start Big Ben. I am worried that I did see him and the trainer's working on his surgically repaired elbow. So be careful on that one.
But I have a backup who.
I did no, but that's what I'm saying. I know you say you might be starting him. I'm just saying, you know, be careful on his throwing arm.
Appreciate
you know, I see. You're sitting at what? Where are you on here?
114. I changed my name. Connor Among Thieves.
Oh, you did change your name. I was looking for your normal name. Yeah, 4-4. Everybody's sitting at. A lot of people are sitting at 4-4. Yeah, I'm looking all right this week. You know, I am playing, and I know we kind of discussed this earlier today. I think he's one of the underrated teams because he's been riddled with injuries, because he's been sitting at the bottom. He's never been in the top 5 at all this year. I'm playing our guy Mike, who changed his name to the Cook Show after Dalvin Cook, you know, did his thing. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got Josh Allen versus Russell Wilson. That'll be an interesting matchup because they're both playing each other, and apparently Seattle gives up points because Josh Allen's predicted at 30 points this week. Predicted at 30 points, not normally as a quarterback predicted at 30 points.
Seattle doesn't play defense, man.
Yeah, AJ Brown versus what is it, Keenan Allen? Yeah, Keenan Allen. Adam Thielen versus Claypool. Derrick Henry versus Dalvin Cook. That'll be a matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Kelce versus, was it Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews.
My flex right now, I'm a little sus on what I'm going to do. There's some waiver wires I'm looking at. Right now I got Darius Slayton in my flex versus Harris. I actually might put in a tight end in my flex as Eric Ebron is playing Dallas, and we all know how Dallas sucks balls. So, you know what? It might be a good idea. I don't know yet. It could blow up in my face. Who knows? Obviously, I got the Pittsburgh defense, and let's play.
Yeah.
So, the predictions right now are 114, 112. You know, it could go up with one big highlight for me. One of the biggest highlight is CMC might be coming back this week, so I might have my double-headed dragon back when Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey.
Is it confirmed? What's the?
It is not confirmed yet. He's still technically on IR. He was going to come back this week, but because it was a short week, it was a Thursday, they want to give him the 10 days rest and get him ready for Sunday versus Kansas City. So who knows? They're saying he should be coming back. If not, I still got Mike Davis sitting in there. So I'm not too worried. I think I might hold on to him as like a handcuff just in case McCaffrey goes out again. But if McCaffrey comes back, I'm fixing to win this one.
That's a nice trump card, getting CMC back. So
yeah, but yeah, that's my highlight right there. That's my highlight of, you know what, McCaffrey's coming back. So
yeah, no, definitely you'd be in the driver's seat if McCaffrey shows up. But you dropped a name earlier, and you dropped a name who this man had a monster of a week. We're getting into Week 8 highlights. We're speaking of Dalvin Cook's monster week. My God.
He showed us his TDs.
Oh, big time. And his junk. Man, this man put up 163 rushing yards, 3 rushing TDs, 63 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown for a total of 46.6 fantasy points. He led his team to victory over Green Bay. They couldn't stop him. 28-22 victory. What do you think of the boy, Mr. Cook?
Oh, well, there's not much I can say. He looked like Alvin Kamara out there almost, putting up those points. So it's been a long time coming. You know, I know Mike's been sitting on him for a while with him being injured and whatnot. But yeah, he's looking phenomenal. He's coming back strong. I look to see him like if he was in boom or bust, he'd be a boom all the way for the rest of the season as long as he stays healthy. I don't see him changing pace. You know, so I'd say top 4 running back maybe right now in the NFL.
Man, the league definitely smelled what he was cooking, and whew. Yeah, it was strong. Big up on him. I should know. Mike had him on his team. He shellacked me. So yeah.
Speaking of a shellacking, though, how about them Jets?
Oh boy,
that's just. I think that's worse than the Cowboys. The Cowboys have injuries. They have reasons to be shit. The Jets are just shit in general. Okay.
Who would win in a battle right now? Who would you take? Cowboys.
The Jets, actually. I'm not gonna lie, because they actually have a team that they've been working with throughout the whole entire season, whereas the Cowboys are just trying to put pieces together at this point. But yeah, I think I'd pick the Jets. Did you see our quarterback sidearm throws? You ain't fucking Patrick Mahomes. Just stop it.
I had to turn the game off. It was disgusting.
I think you mentioned it. Do you think they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence?
That's what I was just gonna bring up. Yeah, I think they're definitely at this point tanking for Lawrence.
Who has COVID, by the way?
Yeah, but he won't be there till next season. So right now it's not their problem. They're the biggest dumpster fire in the NFL. Like 35-9, and they only mustered 3 field goals. 3. It's pathetic.
There's really not much I can say about the Jets or the Cowboys. So, you know, dumpster fire, like you said, it's all downhill for them. Tank and get your draft pick.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
And screw his career over too. No, I'm just kidding. But a team that's not tanking and still perfect. We'll talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Undefeated,
7-0. You know, they squeezed out a victory over Lamar, 28-24. They're just doing it in a multitude of ways: offense, defense, special teams. Now, Goobie, can this team be stopped?
Yes, they can. We'll get into it a little bit later, but yes, they can. They can be stopped. But you know what? They're looking like a they're looking like a fucking brick wall out there. I don't think anything can get by them, and I think that their defense. I'm so happy I picked them up in the draft. It's just phenomenal. There's phenomenal play. I know they're not top defense in the in fantasy world for points, but they're putting up. Like I said, they put up 17 points or 18 points this week. I'm rounding up. That's unbelievable. Ben's doing Ben things. He's looking like a younger Ben, though he still can't run. I'm just putting that out there. James Conner, he's killing it. He's putting up. I say he's putting up consistent points in the NFL. For fantasy purposes, he's definitely been Mr. Consistent with that. I think putting up 15 to 17 points a week. So, yeah, it's hard to say if they're going to be unstoppable.
I just also think Lamar can't win the big ones. He's 1-6 in big games. And he had that. Was it that pick six that he threw, or is it a fumble in the game?
For Pittsburgh, I don't know. I wasn't really watching the game.
I think it was a pick six. Don't quote me on that, but you got to take care of the ball because this team will make you pay, and they have. And there's a reason they're 7-0. So you know what? Look out, AFC, definitely a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, and then another on the smaller end of highlights. I don't even know how to say his name. If you want to fucking say it, you can. I don't know, but the Miami Dolphins quarterback.
Tua?
Yeah, Tua. That's how I pronounce it. But you know what? He started this week, and fantasy purposes didn't do very well. 8.65 points, putting up 12 for 22, 93 yards, throwing 1 touchdown. I'm not sold yet on him, and you know what? I don't know if Miami is either. They won, but you know what? Defense. Miami's defense it's solid, so I think that they're doing very well. What do you think?
You just said everything. Took the words out of my mouth. He should be on his hands and knees thanking that defense because they bailed him out.
Was it his name that took your words out of your mouth? Because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of marbles in your mouth when you're trying to pronounce it. No. Yeah, no. His debut was all right. To me, he looks a little shaky, but he's a rookie. He's just lucky he's behind a great defense and a good system over there. Miami's doing big things, so look out.
Yeah, but talking great defenses, we got kind of a new segment this week. Who's the better D? You know what? Who's got the better D? Okay, we ain't talking about the big D. We're talking about the bigger D's, okay? So we're going to talk, top, I wouldn't say fantasy defenses, but kind of fantasy defenses, but just top defenses in the league that if they're still on the waiver wire, pick them up. Why not? I got my list. Melky, do you have your list?
I have my list, but I didn't go by waiver pickups. I just went by the best.
Oh, I didn't go by waiver pickups either. I'm going about top defenses. Okay. But okay. I have, I think, 2 on my list that are on the waiver wire in our league.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll start it off with my 1 through 5. I'm gonna go 5 to 1. Actually, I want to go worst to best. I got the Colts defense at number 5. The reason why, and I know they've been outstanding, is because if you actually take a look, I'm going to pull it up here. I know I'm a little slow on this, but their defense has only played shit teams this year. Their defense is not has not played at all. I'm looking at the things right here. They played Jacksonville week 1. Okay, that's a shit.
And they lost that game.
Right? Minnesota, they played week 2. Minnesota's doing all right, but their offense has been looking cruddy. They played the Jets. We already know about that. They played Chicago. Chicago has been doing all right, but I think Chicago's been leaning on their defense as well because they don't have a fucking quarterback. I think they've gone through two. They played Cleveland, who Cleveland's been winning, but I don't think they've been winning very well, like points-wise.
Cleveland hasn't beaten a legit team either.
Yeah, and then they beat Cincinnati again, another shit team. And then they played Detroit, which again is not a very good team. So they played mediocre to shit teams in the past 8 weeks. So yeah, I have them as my number 5. I don't see them going up. I see them going down actually with a lot of harder games coming up. But yeah, that's my number 5. Now, number 4 is Tampa Bay. They've been doing well. My number 3 spot is Miami. My number 2 spot is Baltimore. And then obviously my number 1 spot is Pittsburgh defense. They're fucking killing it. They're helping me win. So I got to put them as number 1. What do you think of that list?
You know what's funny? We have the exact same list, but not in the same order.
Sweet.
So you and I are obviously on the same wavelength. We've been paying attention. I'm going to start with my list, and I'm going to go number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I'm going to tell you why. They're a juggernaut of a defense. Like John Harbaugh, he eats, sleeps, breathes defenses. You know that from the Ray Lewis days, man. You know.
Oh, buddy. I sent that meme out in fucking in chat. You know, I got that dance going.
The dance, man.
The Ray Lewis dance, yeah.
Well earned. That's why he has 2 Super Bowls. But yeah, like they're just a great unit. They're number 1 in allowing red zone attempts, meaning that nobody really gets to the red zone. They're number 2 in points allowed, like that defense. So they're stout. They're a stout team, just built around defense. Just Lamar needs to get his shit together. But other than that, my number 4 is the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're number 1 in red zone TDs allowed, so their defense doesn't allow too many. Like that secondary is no joke. They're number 1 in rush TDs not allowed. They got a 6-2 record. I think everybody, like having that presence of Brady, I know he doesn't play defense, but him holding onto the ball longer than Jameis Winston gives that defense a break, a big break.
Time management, man.
Absolutely. Whereas Jameis, every second there was a pick and the defense had to go back on the field. So it just pays dividends right now. My number 3, Miami Dolphins.
That's my number 3.
Yeah, they are number 1 in passing TDs, not allowed in the NFL. Like, Xavier Howard has 4 interceptions. That secondary, I think it's the best secondary in the NFL with Byron Jones, former Cowboy, by the way, Howard. Like, these boys are all over the place. They're number 2 in third down percentage, and they're number 3 in fourth down percentage. So they don't give up a lot. I mean, they're 4-3 right now, but they're on the up and up. They got some young lions over there. My number 2 is the Indianapolis Colts. I know you have them at 5, and you know what? Your reasons were great. They haven't played a real team yet, and I looked at their schedule. They got some tough games coming up, but they're number 1 in points allowed, number 1 in interceptions. They have 3 guys in the secondary have 2 interceptions or more. Like, and they're in the top 5 almost in every defensive category. Yeah. They got some young lines there too. They've been building that defense for years, and they're 5-2 for a reason. I can't see this defense slowing down. Like, I played against their defense this week, and Mike got a pick 6 from them. And then obviously number 1, you and I share this consensus. The Pittsburgh Steelers, number 1 in
big
sacks.
Steel Curtain,
man. Number 1 in sacks. Number 1 in rushing attempts by opponents like T.J. Watt. I swear to God, man, I don't know what they gave those boys as children. Those boys are animals, fucking animals. They're in the top 5 for almost every category. They're undefeated. they show you that defense does win, and I wouldn't be surprised if their defense leads into a championship this season.
Yeah,
So that's my top 5.
And looks like we're in agreement, man. The top 5, just in different orders. Those defenses can't be stopped, and I think Miami is on our waiver wire.
They are.
And I know people who need defenses, and they're like, I need a defense. I'm like, Miami's there, but I just don't think they go for it because the name doesn't suit the defense.
But this week, though, is a big playing Arizona. And it's in Arizona, and Arizona is no joke either. So those corners are gonna have their hands full, with DeAndre and Kirk and Kyler Murray. So we'll see. It's a big test for them this coming week. I gotta ask you, who did you want to put on that list that you left off?
Who did I want to put on that list?
Yeah.
That I left off. Well, let's take a look here. I would have wanted to put either the Bears defense or New England.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Arizona, but yeah, the Bears defense, man. They got Marlon Mack. He's a beast. Or Khalil Mack, sorry, yeah, there you go. Marlon Mack's a fucking running back. He's a running back. Anyways, Khalil Mack, he's a beast. He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL. Like, you can't write him off, and you can't write that defense off. Their offense is not spectacular, but their defense is pretty good. What about you?
Arizona was close. Actually, Arizona almost beat out Baltimore. If it wasn't for losing Chandler Jones, they probably would be up there because that man, like that Jones family, that's Bones' brother from the UFC. There's something in that line too. The LA Rams, if it wasn't for them having a really bad week, I would have had them up there because Aaron Donald, who do you think is more lethal, Aaron Donald or Khalil Mack?
Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Return of the Mac,
or Sean Lee, or fucking, I don't know. I'm kidding. Fucking Dallas defense sucks.
I was gonna say, I'm not putting Sean Lee in that category. You know what I mean?
I was just fucking with you. Dallas defense sucks. It's terrible.
Balls. I don't think
they you know what they need to do. They need to make some fucking trades. That defense is just fucking terrible.
Well, I mean, we had a conversation about this yesterday. They're definitely gonna have to in the draft revamp that defense, get a couple O-liners as well, but that defense they need everything. They need a pass rush, they need a second. That secondary is just atrocious.
It's been atrocious for years.
Yeah, but you know what? At least it was tolerable. Like, they weren't the worst. Since you've been watching, have you ever noticed them being the worst defense in your whole time being a Cowboys fan?
Bottom 5.
Is that the year you picked them at number 3?
It was 5, but okay. Hey, that was my first fantasy. I didn't know what to do, so I just I'm gonna pick up the Dallas defense. What do you know?
Yeah, but come on, no one.
I don't know how. I didn't know how to play fantasy then. Now I do.
Well, yeah, you're in first place.
I'm in first place, and I got chirped actually for not being in first. Okay.
Bye.
I'm just saying, by someone who sat the best player in the NFL. He goes,
God.
if you were, and I quote, if you were so good, you would be in first. Guess what? I'm in first. I'm sitting on top. I beat you. Even if you started Mahomes, I still beat you. Just saying. I'm sitting up there. But yeah, it is what it is. Our defense is shit. So, what's our next segment there, buddy?
Well, speaking of shit, let's go into the NFL trade deadline that actually happened today. And with a whopping 2 teams moving players, Yeah, you heard that. Two whopping moves today. Like, the NFL trade deadline is probably the most tedious deadline out of the four major sports. It rarely has big names who move. I feel like Peter Griffin when he was listening to the lineup of StreamingCom. I don't know if you've ever seen that episode, but listen up.
Big skills. Heavens. Meet disgraced YouTube star Logan Paul and his cool bus. The golden-throated homeless guy and his cool bus he poops in. Newly sober cat, formerly grumpy cat. And teen influencers Tyler Oakley. Oh? Lele Pons. What? Glozell. Where? Joey Graceffa. When? Sunday. I already said that. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. With special guest star.
Like, those are the players that get moved around. It's like ones you've never heard of. You're just like, what? Like,
I'm looking. I'm kind of scrolling through.
Yeah.
I don't even know any of this. But
being two player movements. I mean, there was activity before, but it's never like the other sports where, you know, a potential big name could be on the move to push a team, you know, as a contender or, you know, to get that final piece. No, the NFL, they don't do shit. They'll do it at the draft, but they don't do shit in the regular season. So, sorry, guys. I thought I'd have more to report, but we don't.
Well, I have one thing to report. And that's the Dallas Cowboys should trade Jerry Jones to another franchise. What do you think?
Would any other franchise take him?
Probably not. Go back to selling your fucking oil, okay? No one needs you in the NFL. Skedaddle.
And get those eyes fixed. They're too wide apart.
Oh, my God. But yeah, you know what? It's good to talk trades, but again, nothing happened, and we were expecting to talk a lot of trades this week, especially in the Cowboy region. Hopefully, as a quarterback, Fitzpatrick or something like that. But or Colin Kaepernick. Come on now, where are you at? Yeah. But yeah, no, it's shitty that we couldn't talk about trades. But we got another kind of new segment-ish coming up. We're going to talk
something for all you bettors out there. I feel like
you gamblers out there, you degenerates. We're going to talk Proline. If you don't know what Proline is, I don't know if it's in America or not. I don't know if you guys have this, but it's Canada's Proline. They pick teams against teams, pretty much. There's Proline, there's point spread. Unfortunately, I personally do point spread, but that doesn't come out till I think tomorrow or Thursday, so I can't get the actual point spreads out there. So we're gonna do Prolines. We're gonna pick 5 teams that we think would win and 5 teams that you should maybe bet on if you do Proline this week. Melky, why don't you go off and talk about your 5, or do you want me to go first?
No, you go ahead. You start this off, buddy.
All right, so I'm gonna there's no particular order, but I looked at some of the games and I came up with 5 ones I think will get you a good win on your Proline. We're gonna go number 1, Falcons over the Bucks. I think, Falcons over the Broncos. Sorry, yeah, I don't know why I said Bucks. Falcons over the Broncos. The Broncos look, mediocre. I don't think that the Broncos can win this one. I think the Falcons are starting to make a comeback. I don't know if you agree with me on that one or not, but I think the Falcons are starting to slowly progress into what they should be with Calvin Ridley. Hopefully Calvin Ridley's going to be okay, but what do you think on that one?
The Broncos will always be the little D of the NFL, so I can't see them winning. Go into the Georgia Dome. Go Falcons. Get it done, Hotlanta.
Okay, this one's kind of contradicting, okay? We'll talk about the contradiction later on in the episode, but I'm taking Pittsburgh over the Cowboys in my Proline. Obviously, we all know why. Cowboys defense sucked. Pittsburgh 7-0. And then obviously a third-string quarterback going up against the best fucking defense in the NFL right now. I don't see the Cowboys taking that one. on my pro line. What do you think?
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you, but do you think this could be like Rudy of Notre Dame, where it's something that you would never think that were to happen?
Maybe. I'll talk about it later, but maybe.
That's cool, man.
And then I got KC over Carolina. You know what? KC's been dominant throughout the whole entire season. Carolina, you know what? It's going to be a tough game if they get Christian McCaffrey back. If they get Christian McCaffrey back, that'll be a very interesting game to see. But again, KC's just been dominant and putting up points like crazy, so I don't see Carolina coming through on that one. What do you think?
Who's the home team? Carolina?
I don't even know. I didn't even look because I personally don't think home field advantage really matters anymore.
Oh no, it's in KC. Never mind. Yeah, do what Goobie says. Do what Goobie says. Pick the Chiefs.
Number 4, Green Bay over the Niners. Aaron Rodgers fucking slinging it like nobody's business. So, Green Bay's defense is not stellar, but neither are the Niners. And I don't see Jimmy G coming in this week. So I think they're going to a second string quarterback.
Yeah, no, it's a mess in the Bay Area. Everybody's hurt, like Kittle, Mostart, porn star Jimmy, Debo. It's a fire. It's a hot flaming mess over there. So look for the Packers to get a nice road win and revenge for losing in the NFC Championship game last season.
Yeah, and then I got a hard one. I wanted to go a hard one
because jump right now.
No. But I picked a hard. I picked a hard game. I'm not sure if Proline does it, but if you pick a harder game, they end up giving you a little bit more money. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this. Next time we do this, I will be more fluent in Proline. I'll have to pick one up and look at it. I'm picking the Bucks over the Saints.
Ooh.
You know what? The Bucks defense, again, like we talked about, they're playing stellar. You got Tom Brady, who's throwing it to Gronk apparently, and that connection's doing really well. Mike Evans, Godwin might be coming back. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but yeah, they're. You're just mad because he likes to throw to Godwin more than he does Mike Evans. Okay.
Do you see what Evans did on Monday? All right. He saved his bacon. Anyways.
But, I'm going to pick the Bucks over the Saints. I think it's going to be a close one. If you're doing point spread, do not play that game because that's going to be a fucking hard game to pick. But, yeah, Melky, what do you think on that one?
Yeah, that's a division game. It's revenge because the Saints won the first one in week 1. So I feel like Tampa, and you've alluded to this too, Tampa's clicking on all cylinders. The Saints are missing Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be the Kamara show, and Drew Brees keeps pulling shit out of his ass. But that Tampa Bay defense, man, no joke. Good luck to you. I like Tampa, but don't do a point spread on that game. That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, that point spread would be terrible. Do you have any teams that you like, or do you like what I put down?
I like most of what you put down. There's a couple of games I highlighted. Sorry, folks. Just give me a sec. I like Minnesota over Detroit. Another division game. Minnesota is starting to get it together. Dalvin Cook is healthy. You saw what he did to Green Bay. And Cousins got Jeffries and Thielen. He's got some weapons, man. So I like Minnesota to win that division game at home. I also like Tennessee to bounce back from that embarrassing loss to Cincy against Chicago. Yeah, Chicago's D is stout, and Derrick Henry's got his work cut out, but he always finds a way. And I have no faith in big dick Nick Foles. He's playing with a little dick right now, and that offense is atrocious. So look for Tennessee to bounce back. I mean, and if you want to go obvious, I like the Pats over the Jets.
Yeah, that is an obvious one. You know, I didn't want to go too obvious. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Pro Line goes off of the harder games. You get a little bit more money. So, but yeah, that's an obvious one. You got anything else in there, or?
No, I liked everything else you brought to the table. You know, I think those games, I wouldn't say they're stamp it, but they're pretty close to almost stamping it. So yeah, you know what? Buy a Pro Line ticket this weekend and try it out, man.
Yeah, man. You know what? OLG, if you're looking to sponsor us, hit me up. My number is no. I'm not gonna put that out there. But
yeah, fuck that.
But you know what? Let's get into everybody's favorite segment, Boom or Bust, everybody. Melky, do you want to take this one away, or do you want me to go for it?
I'll take this one away.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the wide receiver on the stupid ass Eagles team that I hate so much. His name is Fulgham.
I don't know who that is. For the third time in a row. I still don't know who that is.
You're about to find out. I'm going to label him as a boom. This past week against the Cowboys, he had 78 receiving yards and a touchdown. I mean, you and I could have put up the same or better numbers, but that's another conversation for another day. Wentz's favorite target right now because everyone else is hurt. He's kind of come out of nowhere. Did you know since week 4, that's when he's made his debut, he has the most fantasy points out of any wide receiver. He has 96.5 points. His numbers, 29 catches, 435 yards, and 4 touchdowns since he's been playing. So you know what? If he is available on the waiver wire, you definitely should pick him up. He's a boom. I see him being a boom going forward.
I still don't know who that is. I'm going to label him as bust because he plays in the NFC East. Just for that reason. That's pretty much it for me. I got nothing else on that one. If you play in the NFC East, you're a bust. I don't care who you are.
You're a
Zeke Elliott, you are definitely a bust.
That's why I traded you.
I was gonna say that was the trade. That was a trade deadline right there. That was a highlight of trade deadline, and it's not even real. Okay, it's fantasy. That was highlights right there. Okay, fuck you, NFC East. Fuck you. I'm gonna go with Brandon Ayuk. I'm pretty sure I said that right. The 49ers wide receiver 2, but with Deebo Samuel's out, he should be looking at to be the wide receiver 1. You know what? It's been a okay this season for him. 53 points with Jimmy G. Looking like he's gonna be out. I actually don't think he's a boom. I don't. I thought about it. I was kind of going back and forth, but if Jimmy G starts, he's gonna be a boom. But if Jimmy G is out, he's gonna be a bust. Like I said, it's hard for me to fix this one up. But I really think that if Jimmy G's out, he's gonna be a bust. I don't see his targets going up if Jimmy G's out. They're kind of going into that Dallas Cowboy phase where it's like the quarterback's probably going to do the back and forth, where the quarterback's out in the freaking wide receiver slot blocking for the running back. I don't even think they have a good running back right now, do they?
They have a couple of good running backs. They had Wilson who went down, and they picked Coleman. I mean, Coleman's a joke. They picked up someone else, and Allen had him. Hasty, I think. Yeah, I think isn't Hasty. Yeah, it starts with an H. They can run in the Bay. I don't know. It's something in that water, man, or something in the Kool-Aid where
they
run like they stole something.
Yeah, but you know what? If Jimmy G plays, I'm gonna label him as boom. This one that I was kind of iffy about, but I don't think he's gonna be anything but a flex player. If you're gonna play him in your flex spot. I think he'll do decent numbers in the flex spot. If Jimmy G plays, make sure you check that out. If Jimmy G does not play, he is a bust for me. Melky, who do you like that or?
No, I disagree with you 100%. I think he's a boom. Like last week, He had 91 yards and a touchdown. I think with all the injuries, that's the reason he's going to be a boom. Like Kittle just broke his foot. He's gone for 6 weeks. Porn star Jimmy is gone. Debo, like you said, is gone. I don't think it matters who's throwing in the ball because porn star Jimmy hasn't played well at all. So I think for those reasons, he's a boom. And look at his numbers when he's picked up the slack. He's put up some solid numbers. He's a nice wide receiver. He's a big guy. So look for him on the way up.
Okay. So I got a question for you then. If you say quarterbacks don't matter, okay. If you had the Dallas Cowboy quarterback Ben DiNucci throw into him, would he be a boom?
I think he'd still be a boom because whatever San Fran has, O-line wise, is a lot better than what Dallas has. So
okay, I agree with that one.
There's more possibility, even if he's going to sidearm it. There's still a possibility he'll get a couple of years.
Oh man! All right, there you have it. You know what? I think we're both in agreement that Brandon Ayuk will be a boom. I'm still iffy on that Jimmy G start, but yeah. Who else you got on the boomer bust, Melky?
Well, I got someone different. I feel like we don't pay respect or homage to the kickers in the fantasy world, so I'm gonna go with Young-Ho Ko from the Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna label him as a boom. This man can kick the ball, and it doesn't matter from what distance. Like last week, he had 2 field goals that were 20 yards and 29 yards. He had 2 more. This man's hit a 50-yard field goal. He probably can hit a 60-yard field goal if he wanted to. And the best part about that, actually, I think he's like the most consistent part of the Atlanta offense. And the best part, his name is awesome.
I fucking love his name. He's a hoe, and he's a hoe for a reason because he's hoeing those balls. Okay, he's taking those balls and he's hoeing them out by kicking them down the field. Okay, straight through the fucking uprights.
Good. It's always good with Ko.
But I agree. I think, you know what, we don't give homage to those kickers. Shout out Will Lutz. Thank you for being you. But yeah, you know what? I think he's definitely. You know what? People underestimate kickers, but kickers can get you decent flex points.
Absolutely.
Like if you look at your flex players should put up anywhere between, I'd say, 9 to 15 points, and kickers can do that too. You know, you just gotta pick the right kicker. You know, Will Lutz put up 14, and what did Young-Ho do? I had to say it. What did Young-Ho do?
Young. Oh, bear with us, folks, man. Young-Ho put up 13 points, man. He was projected to put up 8, but he put up 13, like a whopping 13. So this man does not miss.
Young way cool. Okay. Oh man. Anyways, yeah. So kickers, you know what? If you gotta love them, they're putting up those flex points for you, and yeah, you know, choose your kicker wisely. I know it's the last thing you pick in the draft, but choose your kicker wisely. I got one more. I got Corey Davis. You know what? Tennessee's wide receiver too. I think Corey Davis is going to be a boom. I see it as being the Thielen aspect of everything. The Thielen effect, I like to call it. You know, in Tennessee, where you have a great wide receiver in A.J. Brown getting double teamed. So you go to your next best, which is Corey Davis. He has 36 points on the season with 2 games being injured and 1 game under 9 points. So I see him being a consistent flex starter. This is where I seem to go with boomer bust. I like to, you know, I don't like to pick those wide receiver ones, wide receiver twos, because, we all know that you're going to start these guys like A.J. Brown, Adam Thielen, right? So, boom or bust for me is that flex starter who I think is going to be a boom this week. Like I said, that Thielen effect with the whole Diggs situation, Adam Thielen last year, everybody's like, Diggs this, Diggs that, Diggs this, but Adam Thielen's the one that got the love, and that's why Diggs got traded. And I think Corey Davis is going to be a boom, putting up at least I'd say 10 to 15 points a game. Melky, what do you think?
So you know how you were conflicted with Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah.
It was the same thing with me with Corey Davis, because he was their number one before they drafted A.J. Brown. And he's a big target, like a big boy. He had a great week with 128 yards, receiving yards, and a touchdown. He's had a big game before, but that was with A.J. Brown on the shelf. I'm going to label him as a bust only because there's so many other weapons there. Like there's A.J. Brown, there's Juju Smith. Henry can receive the ball too. He needs his touches. He's nice. Like if they're double teaming AJ Brown, yeah, I would pick him up if AJ Brown went down, because he's similar in stature to AJ Brown. But I think right now I'm gonna label him a bust. I think he's had his 2 awesome games of the season, and unless there's an injury, I wouldn't touch him.
Well. I don't know. I kind of want to rebuttal on that. He hasn't had awesome games other than, last week putting up 18.8 points. Week 1, he put up 10 points. Week 2, he put 9.6. Week 3 was his...
Who was hurt?
What? And A.J. Brown was hurt. Yeah, but, you got to look at the ends justify the means. Look, he put up 18.8 points, and A.J. Brown was in it. So, again, I think it's that Thielen effect where, he's going to get some targets because they're double teaming A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown did not have a great game. He only had, I think, 8 points this week. So, it's tough. I don't put him as a 1 or a 2, but I put him as a flex player for sure.
I agree to disagree.
But yeah, that's it for boom or bust for me.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what? We're all gonna have our difference in opinion. So, but speaking of difference of opinion, it's time for that toonie pot to grow. Not for you because you haven't won shit, but it's time for Bob's favorite segment, Toonie Bets.
Toonie Bets
in the house. And I'm gonna start us off. Honestly, I know I usually pick the gimmies, but I feel like this is probably one of the matchups of the week. It's 2 up-and-coming teams, and I went back and forth on this. I know I told you what team I was going to pick, but I think I've gone back, and I think I'm going to go with Arizona over Miami, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a big test for Tua. I wasn't overly impressed by his performance last week. The Arizona's defense is no joke. They're just coming off a bye. It's in Arizona. And, yeah, that secondary of Miami's got to contest with DeAndre, Kirk, Edmonds, and, the man, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, man.
So for that reason, I'm going to go Arizona over Miami. A little bit of a wake-up call for Tua. I think, though, that they'll put up a good matchup, but in the end, Arizona for the win.
All right. I like it. I like Arizona over Miami. Like I said, though, that defense in Miami is pretty stellar. And you know what? Arizona defense, no joke either. So, Tua, you got your work cut out for you. So yeah, my conflicting my conflicting pro line over here. I'm taking the Cowboys over Pittsburgh. Let's go, boys.
You must be bad. You must be bad.
You know what? It could happen. You know what? They might find Neverland. It could be a thing. I really don't have explanations. But, okay. So what I'm going to say is Cowboys defense did not look bad last week. Okay? They got some good picks. They got some good fumbles. So I'm not mad. I mean, like, that first half, they look stellar, that defense. And you know what? This Ben DiNucci guy, yeah, he's trying to be fucking Patrick Mahomes with these sidearm passes. But there was one pass in particular, I know it didn't get completed. Dude's got a fucking cannon of an arm. I don't know if you saw that. He threw I'd say like at least like a 75-yarder, and it was fucking dead on. It was just a little too high. So you know what? I think with a little bit more time, I think he could, potentially cover the role there for a little bit. He's definitely not going to be a starter, but yeah, Ben DiNucci, you got a cannon of an arm, and some of those sidearm passes were looking kind of cool, looking kind of fun. And you know what? Cowboys right now, I think they counted themselves out. So I think that I think they're having a little bit of fun with it, with these trick plays and the wildcat formation and stuff like that. So you know what? They might be able to pull this one out of the bag. And you know what? Pittsburgh's 7-0, and it's that whole thing where it's like, you know what? You might overlook them, but they're still an NFL team. So you know what? Who knows? But yeah, Cowboys over to Pittsburgh.
Okay. Like, obviously, as a Cowboys fan, I would love, I'd love for Big D to put an end to that undefeated streak of Pittsburgh. I mean, it would be hilarious for one.
I would love it in Allen's face.
Oh, big time. I would too. It'd be like, you guys beat everyone else but the stupid Dallas Cowboys. But I live in a real world. I don't live in fantasy. It's not happening.
You don't live in Neverland? Come on.
No, I don't wear those green fucking tights, all right? It's not happening, man. Pittsburgh is on a high, and there's so much to contain. Like, there is so much Dallas is going to be put up against, like, those wide receivers, like Claypool, Juju, Washington, Johnson, along with Connor. That defense, it's going to be a long day at the office. So, yeah, you're going to be wrong yet again, but I think you like being wrong. So, yeah, let's get it.
I just like picking some fucked up teams that, might show up. Might.
Nah, that's fair, man. You make it fun. I'll give you that. So now the man of the hour, the creator of Tuning Bets. We're going to go with Ball Walker's picks. So, enjoy.
Hello, Melky and Goobie. Ball here for another week of... No, you know what? That's not how I'm going to start this. Fly, Eagles, fly. How about that game? What did you guys say again? The Cowboys were going to beat the number one Eagles in our shit division? Did you watch the game? Goobie, honestly, did you? Anyways, my toonie bet for this week, it's the Monday Nighter. It's the Pats versus the Jets. And, of course, I'm choosing the Pats. How can you choose the Jets? They're going to remain winless. There is no way Adam Gase can outcoach Bill Belichick. There's just no way. And I know Cam Newton's been pretty shit. I mean, 2 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But I'm going to take the Pats over the Jets any day. And I hope everyone does. I mean, you might as well choose any team against the Jets this year. Can't wait to hear yours. Take care, boys. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Okay, first of all, I chose the Jets last week, okay? So don't hate. Don't hate. And second of all, okay, yes, I did watch the game. And there's a reason why I watched that game. I only watched half of it because I had to go to sleep because work and everything. Anyways, I digress. I watched that game because I needed Philly's defense to destroy the Cowboys to get into first. I was cheering Philly on 100% because Dallas' season is over. And my fantasy season is bright and looking great. So I really needed that defense, that Philly defense to, kick ass. And they did. So, you know what? I'm with you. Fly, Eagles, fly right now. Just for that one game. Fuck the Eagles after that.
Fuck you both. I should get a shotgun and blast your ass down there. And you know what's funny? The division's still up for grabs.
It is. Matt, you know what though? Imagine the Cowboys beat Pittsburgh and Philly loses this week. Like,
Philly's on a bye, so I
oh
mean it's all.
fuck, there you go. But I'm just saying, if Cowboys beat Pittsburgh this week, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, look at the Cowboys! Like they might actually win the division, beating the best team in the NFL." We know it's probably not gonna happen, but you know what? I got my hopes.
Yo, I'll parade to that. If we win, you and I will start a fucking parade in Burlington.
Yeah, you know what? We'll grind up the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers and like a little grinder and turn them into fucking mustard with that fucking yellow shit. But you know what? Speaking of mustard, you know, everybody, you need to go check out the Wow I Had Mustard podcast out on the Not After 30 network. It's episode 9. You know, we got that great movie review. John, I don't know what pick that was for movies, but I don't know if I'm actually going to watch it. Just saying. I don't speak French, and nor do I want to read. Okay? So, but you know what? Go check it out. You guys will understand what I'm talking about if you watch the episode or listen to the episode. YouTube, wow, not Netflix. I mean Netflix. If you want to pick us up, go ahead. Please. But YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, you know, Google Play. Yeah, check us out. Wild Mustard. Me, Melky, our buddy Ball Walker, and our buddy John DeNoir.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to give a shout out to El Jefe, aka Anthony, fresh from the oven. Milk and Cookies, episode 3, out on YouTube. Discover how the cookie crumbles. And like Goobie said, check us out on the Not After 30 podcast channel. We got a lot of great stuff on there, and the last Wow I Had Mustard is pretty jokes. And the new one coming out November 6th, you're gonna laugh because we just went off the walls with that. So
there you go.
So, but always remember, virginity is like a bubble. One prick and it's all gone. Vote correctly, America. Let's get it done.